Here we go. Here we go. We are going to Orlando. I wish there could be like sunshine for all of us instantly as we press this button, but it doesn't work like that. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be tuning in from. This is Sabrina with Spoiled Agent, and I have some amazing, very special guests here who I think are each and every one of them at a much warmer temperature than I am up in freezing Canada. Laura Kreitzer, she is the Travel Industry Sales Director for Visit Orlando. Welcome. How are you doing, Laura?
Great. It's nice, warm 80 degrees down here in Orlando. We wish you all were here with us.
80 degrees. Okay. But at least you have to work. I bet your office is air conditioned and it must be really cold, right?
It's air conditioned, but we're still looking at sunny skies, so I'm not complaining.
What? I know there's no way, any way possible to make anything not positive and amazing about Orlando, even if you're in your office for the day. Although you'd rather be suntanning on the Crystal Lagoon, probably at Evermore and zooming somewhere amazing with Brightline, I'm sure. So, ladies and gents, spoiled agents, this is a real treat. We have some amazing industry experts here from this most fantastic destination. So I've already taken a moment to introduce Laura, and I'm going to introduce a little bit further down the line, Phil, who's here with Evermore Orlando Resort, and Gabriel or Gabriel, I'm not sure, I didn't ask him, we'll say both, with Brightline Trains. What do you prefer, Gabriel or Gabriel?
Either one works. I've been called worse things in my life. And by the way, my mother, I'm almost 50 years old, and my mother still calls me Gabriel Enrique if I'm in trouble. So
Perfect.
it doesn't go
Okay,
away.
so there you go, Gabriel Enrique. I know what to do to get your attention.
Exactly.
I know how that goes. Well, we're very excited that everyone's here. I'm going to go just through a few quick housekeeping notes. So the session will be recorded as always. And if you'd like to view it, it'll be on later today at the Visit Orlando site. We know you're busy, and I bet you're going to be very excited to start booking these products. So if you have to run because you have the perfect client for Evermore, we forgive you, right, Phil? And then you can come back on and watch the recording. Keep the chat for fun so we can hear. I want to look, Brian says it's 50 degrees. We can see all that cold weather reports, and go Chiefs from Kansas, and 46 in Indiana. I don't know what my Fahrenheit is, but I'll tell you guys in a minute. Let's do that in the chat. And then we have a Q&A box. So keep that Q&A for the pros, because you're talking vice presidents and directors here to support you, the spoiled agents, so you can be the industry's best. Why? Because that's why a customer goes to a travel agent, because you have the connections, you have the expert advice, you have the inside and professional experience to be able to guide them. And that's why your guests come with you, right? So ask those questions because you've got the pros right here to answer them. So without further ado, I'm going to reintroduce Laura Kreitzer, the Travel Industry Sales Director, North America, and I'm going to let her take it away. I don't hear you, but you know what? That's actually really handy because I forgot to say that we have a prize today. Whoops. Thank you to Visit Orlando for that. We have a $50 gift card that's going to be given away. And in order to qualify, if you'd be so kind to stay on just until the Q&A portion. After that, if you have to run, we completely forgive you. And that winner will be announced by Monday or Tuesday next week. Laura, do you want to say something so we can test your sound?
Is it working now?
Now it is. Perfect.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't know what happened, but hello, everyone. Hi, everybody. Welcome, and thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We have an exciting lineup for you from Orlando, two of the hottest topics right now, and two of the hot spots in Orlando with Evermore Orlando Resort and Brightline. But first, I'm here to just tell you a little bit about what's new in 2024. There's a lot of exciting things every year, something different in Orlando. We grow, we continue to increase visitation, and we very exciting things. We just were nominated the #1 place to experience Valentine's Day. We have been nominated the #1 foodie city in the country a couple months ago. And just recently, of course, we were the #1 family destination in the country. So we continue to stay strong, and we really appreciate all your support and your love driving your clients to Orlando. I wanted to share quickly kind of a what's new flyer. Can you all see that okay? I'm going to share what's new flyer and just some of the new things happening in Orlando. And I wanted to share this flyer because this flyer is actually the flyer that is posted on our Visit Orlando page in the Spoiled Agents site. So you can find this information as a resource. A couple new things. I really want to focus. I'm only going to speak a few minutes because I want the majority of my time to be spent with our partners. But I've wanted to highlight a few new things happening at the theme parks next year you may or may not be aware of. First and foremost, at Universal Orlando, they are opening a DreamWorks land. Guests can interact with the favorite DreamWorks animation characters. This has taken the place of where like Woody Woodstock in that area was, but it's a whole new land at Universal Orlando. So that's very exciting, opening soon. We've got the reimagined Tiana's Bayou Adventure at Magic Kingdom. Of course, this takes the place of Splash Mountain, and this is opening in late 2024. So keep an eye on that. Open now, is Epcot's Moana water attraction, Journey to Water. And I actually just walked through this past weekend. And what this is it's a really hands-on, experiential, environmental friendly attraction where your guests can walk through, kids can get wet in the summertime, but it teaches you all about water and the love of Mother Earth and how they interact with water. And it's just a really nice, peaceful experience and a walk-through attraction, a family for all ages. And then a new coaster coming to SeaWorld in 2024, Penguin Trek. Penguin Trek is a family coaster. It actually does have its own track, and it is dropping you off at the Penguin exhibit. So it is SeaWorld's 9th roller coaster. SeaWorld is actually the roller coaster capital of Orlando, which is very exciting for them. So this is their 9th coaster. So that should open in spring of 2024. The track is already laid, which is exciting. SeaWorld Aquatica also has a brand new water ride. They have a water slide. So that is opening same time at spring of 2024. So if your guests come to SeaWorld, they can experience the day at SeaWorld and of course the day at Aquatica with either a combo ticket or an individual ticket, but there's 2 new attractions there. And then of course at Legoland, Florida, which is, in between Tampa and Orlando, we have Legoland, Florida, Lego Ferrari Build and Race this spring. So it's offering guests the experience to view a life-size Lego Ferrari car and then test it in one of the 3 obstacle test tracks. So it's really cool. It's a great experience for kids of all ages. Legos are hot right now with the whole Will Arnett show on TV. So it's a lot of fun, and I think your family and your guests would really enjoy that. That's really all I want to talk about in regards to the theme parks. Again, there's some information on this flyer regarding updates on dining and our Michelin star dining. There's some updates on refurbishments and new hotels coming on board. And there's some information on the expansion of the airport and Terminal C. So, go ahead and look at this flyer, go ahead and find it. There's also information on the Orlando Travel Academy. I did want to put a plug for those of you who are not graduates of the Orlando Travel Academy. It is our certification program. It takes less than an hour, but it gives you the resources and the tools to be able to sell Orlando outside of the theme parks. We call it Beyond the Parks. So it gives you the information regarding, the outdoor attractions, the alternate attractions on iDrive and other places to go, Kennedy Space Center, etc. And then you actually get free theme park tickets, discounts, tickets on hotels, and just some great benefits for you on the Orlando Travel Academy. So if you have not graduated yet, I highly recommend you go through. It's a great program, and I think you'll really enjoy it, and it'll give you some great resources. So again, that's all for me. Thank you for having us, and I'm going to turn it back over to Sabrina.
You know what? That's fantastic. You definitely should not hesitate. I just put the link in the chat so everyone can go ahead and grab that at their leisure to go ahead and get into the Travel Academy. Free tickets. That's amazing. And being an expert at the same time. So next up, we have Gabriel Martinez, who is the Vice President of Distribution for Brightline Trains. Welcome, Gabriel. How are you today?
I'm well. I'm Florida freezing here in our office. We're preparing because I think on Sunday or Monday the temperatures are gonna go all the way down to like 58 or something like that. So we're getting ready for the cold.
Oh,
down here.
that's the cold. I can see you already have your winter jacket ready.
That's right. That's right.
Well,
Great to meet everybody.
and I
All
gotta
you.
tell you real quick, there's already comments in the chat about Brightline experiences and agents that have had a firsthand experience and how great it was. So right now I am seeing your screen in presentation mode. What I
Yeah.
usually do
Okay.
on those cases,
Let me do
I'm
that.
old school. I just unplug the other monitor because it drives me nuts. But you can, if you know all the buttons to press, you can do that. But yeah, someone
Let's try
said,
this.
yeah, go ahead. And yes, Wanda, it is being recorded. I'll answer that live. Audrey says, do you know what cold weather is if you live up north? Yeah, I know. I'm going to tell you now what it's at. Let's see. It's probably freezing.
How about this? Do you see it now? Do you see the full
It
screen
looks
now?
perfect. Thank you,
Okay,
Gabriel.
brilliant. Hey, thank you so much. Hello, spoiled agents. By the way, I was told both Laura and Sabrina told me that if I was brief, I would be invited again. So I got to move fast. Thank you so much for joining us this morning or afternoon, depending on what part of the continent you are. But yeah, Brightline Trains. Pleasure to be with you. A company we're going to talk about the Florida project, but just know that it is an ambitious company. Our vision is to try to re-enamor the traveling public with the idea of train travel in the US again. We have scoped out a few places around the state where the way we say is that it's too short to fly but too long to drive. So city groups or city pairs where you're about 300 miles away, somewhat congested, plenty of business and tourism interest. So we have approval to start building out in the West Coast for the project that will connect Las Vegas to downtown Los Angeles. So that is very exciting. But right now we're gonna dedicate all our focus to the Florida project, which brings us to Orlando. But know that this company has roots in Florida that go way even before Disney World and the whole tourism industry put Florida on the map. We go all the way back to Mr. Flagler himself, the man who built Florida, quote unquote. So we're running on part of those tracks that were built over 100 years ago, and so we're very tied with this history of tourism in the States. And so that's why I want you to start thinking about how Brightline will help so for example, it'll help your clients explore more of the state. So if they're sailing out of Port Everglades or Port Miami, they could have nights pre-post. They could combine their trips with an Orlando stay as well, because now it's easier than ever. The whole trip from Orlando all the way down to Miami is about 3.5 hours. From Orlando to Fort Lauderdale is about 3, and from Orlando to West Palm Beach is it's a little bit over 2 hours. So you can certainly be staying in Orlando at the Evermore Resort, for example, and come down and go to the beach in West Palm. You can take the train. In 2 hours, you are in West Palm. And then in about 12 minutes, you're on the sand. So very convenient. Just like going to the ports, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. We have our company came from a freight train company. So from the very beginning, we knew that we had to offer something a little bit more than just a transfer from point A to point B. And so we have thought about it as this brighter way to get there, or riding brighter. you'll see in a little bit how we try to sell this idea of the conjunction of hospitality and transportation, but it's what does that mean for you and what does it mean for your clients? Well, the train ride, we want it to be as part of the vacation as the destination itself. So getting to Orlando, we want your clients to feel like getting to Orlando was just as part of the trip. So on the train is a time to connect. They can play games, they can take pictures, they can have meals. There won't be any stops, so it's super comfortable, spacious, Wi-Fi connected. You don't have to stop, so it is faster, it is safer, and of course, it is a much more energy efficient way to move around than going by plane or by car. So about this point, we have curated our spaces, our furnishings, our colors, even our food offerings, so that your clients and yourselves, when you come visit us, so that you feel like the moment you step into the station, you know that you're in for a different kind of treat. So plenty of natural lights, big windows, color, tons of service and service staff, comfort, plugins to charge all your devices, Wi-Fi connectivity, even a scent that we pump into the stations. Everything is built, wine, beer, liquor selections that are top shelf, everything curated, handpicked, so that your clients and yourselves feel like they are at an upgraded, a luxurious experience. Mary Bar is no exception. All the stations are similar in infrastructure. They might be different inside. So, for example, the Mary Bar in the Orlando station is the biggest, but all the stations have a version of it. So top shelf liquor, beer, wine. Usually we include some of the local breweries, for example. There'll be warm food options. So it is not your regular train station, or a train station that you might be used to, say in the Northeast or maybe even in Europe. So, by the way, we own the stations, we own the tracks. So when you're at our station, you're getting on our train. Nobody's going to get lost. It's going to be super simple. We have two categories of services that we are going to discuss in a minute, but just know that for your clients that do like, a little bit of an elevated experience, and they like to be well tended and all that, the premium service and the premium lounge are the way to go for them. Now, everything I described is true, and it should be true at the station as well as on board. So we have developed a service so that you feel all those things, the space, the connectivity, the colors, the light, the service, both at the station and on board. And the same thing between the two categories, between smart and premium, there is a difference at the station and on board. There is a quick note to make about here. I'm going to go back just a second. So you see the map. There's the stations in South Florida and the stations in Orlando. So they are, as you can see, the stations in South Florida. First, Miami and Orlando are our terminal stations, our terminus of the line. So they're the biggest ones. But then Fort Lauderdale and West Palm are a little bit smaller, but similar. And then Aventura and Boca are smaller still, but similar. So again, a lot of the descriptions that I've discussed apply to them. But as you saw on the map, the stations in South Florida, so Miami, Aventura, Fort Lauderdale, Boca, and West Palm Beach are all, the line runs east of 95, and in fact, east of US 1 at some points. So that puts you in all the downtown areas, in near all the points of interest that you would want to see around those stations, and always close to the beach. In Orlando, the station is inside MCO proper, so it's within the airport itself. It's right next to Terminal C, brand new terminal, where a lot of international lift lands, and all of JetBlue's operations are out of that Terminal C. Miami. Fort Lauderdale is about 4.5 miles from Fort Lauderdale International, and we have a shuttle between airport and station. Costs $10 for the first passenger, $5 for each additional passenger. And it is about 4 miles from the port. So 4 miles, about 6 kilometers from the entrance of Port Everglades. Miami Central is about 8 miles from the airport, sorry, 6 miles from the airport, about 8 kilometers. And there is a shuttle that takes you between airport and station. It is $10 for the first passenger, $5 for the additional passenger. And Miami is about 4 blocks from Port Miami. So super simple. For example, you could have your vacation at the theme parks and run yourself ragged like we all do when we go to vacation in the theme parks, and have to see Disney and Universal and SeaWorld and Legoland and iDrive and all of Evermore Resort, which is huge. And then you need a place to relax, and so you want to cruise, so you can get on the train, come down, get off in Miami Central, and in about, I don't know, 7 minutes, you'd be in Port Miami. Our trains are made here in America. They are Siemens, but they're Siemens USA, built in California, pretty soon to be made in the Carolinas. We have 5 train sets in this picture. We now have 10 train sets, and we will be adding another carriage to each train this year. So we're expanding capacity. We want to create more space for y'all to buy and sell our train. So as a product, very simple. 2 classes of service, like you have business and first, or economy and first in some trains in Europe. We call them smart and premium. So at the moment, every train can carry about 240 passengers, with 3 coaches on smart category, 1 sort of private coach on premium. Configuration is a little bit different. Notice that smart is 4 seats per row, so 2 and 2, and then premium is 3 seats per row, 2 and 1. You do have, smart feels luxurious, feels like almost like a business class. Leather seats, plenty of space. Again, chargers under the seats and between the seats, up on the tables, everywhere for the the amenities that we modern travelers need. There's food and drink for purchase. Whereas in premium, so less passengers, a little bit more leg room, 2 and 1. And then on premium, you have food and drink both at the station and on board, included in your tickets. And that includes alcoholic beverages, so wine, beer, and even cocktails. The rule is that you have about 2 hours prior to train's departure to enter into the premium lounge. You want to take advantage, and I highly recommend it. For those of you who sell cruises and again are going to start combining Central Florida with cruises out of South Florida, to me, the premium class is like starting the cruise early. Because you just get in there, there's food, there's drink, relaxing. It's really, really nice. And in fact, it also includes an Uber ride within 5 miles. So if you arrive at Port Everglades, at the Fort Lauderdale station, it includes your trip to Port Everglades. And if you arrive at the Miami Central station, it includes your trip to Port Miami. So I know that's a very big focus for us. I hope it's a very big focus for you. I hope you can start selling your clients on this idea. We had another call the other day, and somebody said, "Oh, it seems as though your pre-nights could be in Orlando now." So yeah, pre and post cruising could be in Orlando now. We are really connecting the entirety of the state, like nowhere, like nowhere else, like nowhere before. We have options in terms of transportation. I think I mentioned some of these, but at every station, there's something to get your passengers to they finally want to go, right? Whether they're arriving in Orlando to go to the resorts, Evermore, or whatever, or if they're here in South Florida, they want to get to the beach, they want to get to the ports, they want to get to a hotel or an airport. Luggage, you can bring luggage on board if luggage exceeds a certain weight or size, it has to be paid. But otherwise you can bring 2, we call them carry-ons, but it doesn't mean the carry-on on the plane. It just means that you can bring your suitcases on board. So you can bring 2 suitcases on board, a personal and a smaller carry-on. So There is a link on our website at the very bottom of every page called Terms of Service. And if you go down there, click on it, you'll see all the terms and conditions regarding luggage. But yes, you can. Yes, in the affirmative, you can bring luggage on board. And if it doesn't exceed that weight and that size, it is free. It is free. Through the end of February, so we don't have a lot of time left, but through the end of February, we have double the commissions from 10% to 20%. So take advantage that we have about what, a month and a short month at that in 6 days. So take advantage, jump on it, jump on this train and make some money. Let's go to Orlando. Please scan this code. It'll take you to gobrightline.com/travel agents, gobrightline.com/travel agents. And this is the page. This is the link to get you signed up. If you are part of a host agent, as part of the host agency, I might need to talk to the supplier relations team to get you all set up. But for more information, you can go here. Sabrina, you can pick this up and share with everybody.
Do so.
And that's it.
I know you have a train to catch too.
That's right.
Thank you so very much. And don't worry, everyone. Please, the only thing I ask all our spoiled agents is to put your questions in the Q&A. I saw lots of questions coming in the chat, and it will take us hours to pick those questions out. They're lost because other people send their notes. It's just for fun, the chat. So if you have a question, you are going to get answered. So even though Gabrielle's going to run, please add your questions there because he will receive a report of this. And in the follow-up email, spoiled agents will give you all the links we need so you can make sure to get that as well. So thank you so much, Gabrielle.
Thank you so much. Apologies, I do have to run, but Sabrina, I can share the presentation with you. You guys can keep it. Feel free to distribute it. This is, for them for their use. So, and of course, myself and Ralph Ebra, Ralph.ebra@gobrightline.com. He is our sales manager for this segment. So by all means, get in touch with us. We're here to help. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you so much. I just see 3 in the chat right now. So Candace, Denise, Natalie, please throw those in the Q&A. And I'm going to get started with Phil without further ado. Thank you, Gabriel. So we have with us today Phil De Leonardis from Evermore Orlando Resort. I think that's what's behind you. Is that what we see?
That is exactly what you see behind me. So
Oh my gosh.
Not reality, but that was taken from the boathouse, which is at the south end of Evermore Bay. So hello, everyone. Again, I am Philip De Leonardis, Director of Leisure Sales. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen so that you can watch a quick 30-second video just to give you a feel of what Evermore is. And then I'll try to quickly explain to you what it is we're opening here in Orlando.
Very exciting. And that place looks unbelievable. Like I already am thinking about my outfit. I want to go there so bad. Here we go. Okay, full screen looks great.
Wonderful. So I will be back as soon as this little video is done. Well, there we go. Sorry, I was going to give you a double dose of the video, but that's not necessary. All right. The image that you see here is, and I refer to it as the vision. This is what I've been looking at for the just over a year and a half that I've been working here at Evermore Orlando Resort. It is the artist's vision of a vacation rental beach resort in Orlando. That's right, a beach resort. What you see there is the artist's vision. And what you see here is the reality today. This photograph was taken on January 10th. What you're looking at is an 8-acre crystal lagoon. It is designed and built by a company called Crystal Lagoons. They pride themselves on having a very minimal carbon footprint. If you want to read about them, it is quite exceptional. It is not a swimming pool. They have a technology for filtering the water and chemicals that are all patented, so that they basically end up using about 2% the power required of a traditional swimming pool for pumping purposes. And when I say traditional swimming pool, that would be the size of Evermore Bay. And they use about 100 times fewer chemicals than a typical swimming pool, but it does look like a swimming pool. The size of the lagoon is 8 acres. For those of you that aren't good with acres or hectares, that's the size of 6 football fields, and you have approximately 20 acres of white sand beaches that go all the way around the lagoon. That's just the overview to give you an idea. So where is Evermore and who are we? If you are familiar with the Villas of Grand Cypress, you will know our location. We are basically in the Lake Buena Vista part of Orlando. We're on 1,100 acres of land. When we were the Villas of Grand Cypress, we had 45 holes of golf. We had 146 villas, and we were exclusively a golf resort. Evermore purchased the property and closed it in 2019. But what you're looking at in the upper right-hand corner of this image with the map, those are the Villas of Grand Cypress. We kept a portion of those villas, and they still exist, and we still have 36 holes of golf. But what we did was we have built that Evermore Bay Lagoon. We have added luxury hotel. A Conrad Orlando is on our property. And the rest of the accommodations are all vacation rental. So everything that's a vacation rental basically has access to a full kitchen, living room, dining room. In the photograph, you can see in the lower left-hand corner, there's the Blue Lagoon. This image was actually taken by one of our staff that was flying out of Orlando. And I don't know if you can see my cursor on the screen or not, but if you can, you'll see that there's a road that is kind of L-shaped that goes right past us. And if you look on the map on the left, you'll see Winter Garden Vineland Road, where that is in Orlando. It's inside that box just underneath the Evermore logo. And that is that exact road that you see there. Also, just to the north of the lagoon, above us, and again, if you can't see my cursor, if you look right below the big puffy clouds, you'll see that there's a big lake. That is Epcot Center. So that is how close we are to Disney property. We actually share a 3-mile border along Winter Garden Vineland Road. So to go as quickly as I can here, Evermore is quite large. To the north of us, you'll see the letter A, and it says the Links course. That's the beginning of the 18-hole golf course that is Jack Nicklaus's tribute to the old course at St. Andrews in Scotland. It's a very unique course. You won't find another one like it in Florida. To the south, where you see the letter B all the way at the bottom, is the Cypress course. The B is actually on the 18th green. The 18th green is approaching Evermore Bay. The number 1 is to let you see where Evermore Bay is. The number 2 on the left is where we currently have 41 2- and 4-bedroom villas. These are the original Villas of Grand Cypress, and you can see they have a villa's pool area, and in that same area, they also have a fitness center that features a Peloton studio. On the opposite side of the lagoon, you'll see the numbers 3 and 4. The numbers 3 are for 154 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom flats with full kitchens, open floor plan, living room, dining room, etc., full-size washer and dryer. Number 4 is the exact same product, all 4-bedroom, 4-bath, but in 2-story buildings with exterior corridors, private entrances directly into the units, and there is a beautiful boardwalk that goes in between those. Number 5 is the vacation houses. That's lower right-hand corner of the map at the bottom. There we have 69 vacation homes ranging in size from 5 bedrooms to 11 bedrooms. An 11-bedroom house can actually accommodate 32 people sleeping. Number 6 is the Conrad Orlando. That is a 433 room hotel. They have approximately 60,000 square feet of meeting space. The key for you to remember is that although Conrad is part of the Evermore Orlando Resort, they are managed by Hilton. So all of the guests that stay in vacation rental at Evermore have access to all of the public facilities of Conrad. So that would include all of their restaurants, that would include their spa. But what it does not include is 3 distinct things. One, the Conrad pool deck is reserved for the Conrad guests. The Conrad as a hotel does offer complimentary shuttles to the Disney parks. As a vacation rental resort, Evermore does not. And the main reason for that is with a home that can sleep 32 people, if you had an extended multi-generational family staying in one house and they said, hey, let's go to Disney, you would have 32 people show up and basically there'd be no more room on the bus for anybody else to get to the parks. Number 7, as we continue, is the landing. Think of the landing as the heart of the resort for Evermore. This is where we have 24-hour guest services. We have a full-size fitness center with additional Peloton bikes, a dance room with classes that are given by our recreation team. You have a food court that has 3 dining options there for quick grab-and-go meals. We have a full market, so it's not a complete grocery store, but it does cater to guests with fully prepared meals that just need to be put into the ovens in the kitchens in all of the homes. And then number 8 that you see on the map is right at the south end of Evermore Bay. That is the boathouse. It is our banquet and events venue. It's very popular for weddings. And then finally, we have a small meeting center at number 9. All right. Everything you were just looking at on that map is right here in this one photograph. To the left with the red roofs, you can see the original villas of Grand Cypress, which are now the Evermore villas. That first building at the bottom left, this is the landing. The boathouse is the one that's just to the right of that. You can see the 5-story flats, the Conrad at the back end, and the houses to the right. I'm going to show you a quick short video. This is basically just going to do a flyover coming from the landing and moving towards the Conrad. Once it gets up and over the Conrad, it will turn so that you'll be able to see back to the south end. If you look closely, you will see people standing on the beach. It'll give you an idea of the size of Evermore Bay. It is impressive, and there's a lot to do there. Now you can start to see the Conrad swimming deck. The central portion of the Conrad on the 8th floor is Ceiba, which is a fine dining Mexican restaurant. Again, all of the restaurants at the Conrad are available to the guests. On the lower left is Sophia's Trattoria. Right below Ceiba on the ground floor is Papaya Club, which is their Polynesian-style pool bar and restaurant. And now as we spin around, you're getting a quick look at the 2-story flats and the 5-story buildings that go all the way back facing the boathouse, which is on the left, and then all the way in the back corner where you see that pointy Christmas tree shining, that is the landing. All right, let's just jump quickly into the accommodation types. I won't spend too much time on this because we'll be able to send information to you, or you'll be able to get a copy of this. But we have a total of 41 2- and 4-bedroom villas. There are 19 2-bedrooms, and there are 22 4-bedrooms. They are large. 2-bedroom is 1,800 square feet, and the 4-bedroom is 2,800 square feet. At the bottom image, you see that there is a pool and a couple of heated jacuzzis that are available in the central part of where the villas are located. This is a photograph that was taken again on January 10th. This is the boardwalk area. If you look at the photo on the left, you'll see that there's taller buildings. Those are the 5-story flats. In that building, you have 79 Evermore Bay facing units. And then these are the ones that are boardwalk facing. The boardwalk will go all the way from the south end near the boathouse and takes you all the way to the Conrad Orlando. On the right-hand side, you can see the 2-story flats. Again, those do not have central corridors, and they do not have elevators to get to the 2nd story. So if you book a second story flat, then you will be taking your luggage up the stairs. There is a bonus though, when you're on the second story and you're looking at that, you can see the vaulted ceilings. The amount of light, natural light coming in off your balcony is stunning. It just makes your flat look enormous. The two photographs on the right are showing you the Evermore Bay facing units. And again, on the Evermore Bay side, the 5th or 5th floor units also have the same vaulted ceilings that the Boardwalk View 2-story units have.
Bill, if you can hear me.
Inside the flats, the bedding is the same. 3 of the 4 bedrooms all have one king size bed and their own bathroom that you see there with the blue tile on the left. Those 2 photos in the upper left. The 4th bedroom is actually what we call the bunk room. If you look at the upper right-hand corner, the person taking the picture was actually inside the bathroom area where the toilet is. So you're looking through the bathroom area. You can see the trough sink that can cater to 3 kids all at once. Then where the mom and child are standing is the shower area. And then you can see the bunk room to the left. The bunk room has 4 beds. You have a queen-twin combination and a twin-twin combination. And then bottom 2 pictures, full-size living room, kitchen, dining area. Am I running out of time, Sabrina?
I just wanted to give you your 5-minute mark that you have
Okay,
left.
so I'm at 5 minutes or I've got 5 minutes left?
5 left.
Okay, thank you very much.
Of
I'm going to
course.
pick up the pace a little bit and let you see pictures. Jumping to the vacation homes now, we have 69 of these, and I mentioned before, ranging from 5 to 11 bedroom. We're not going to look at all of the homes, but know that every single home has an enclosed, fenced-in backyard, a plunge pool that is heated salt water. They all have gas grills that are hard-lined gas into the gas, so you're not going to run out with propane tanks. They all have covered and uncovered areas for dining outside. I will skip this page, but basically you can see all of the variety of houses from 5 to 11 bedrooms. We do have a total of 14 homes that also come with in-house theaters. I wanted to show you the first and second floor of a 5-bedroom to give you an idea of what you're looking at. On the left, you can see the floor plan. Every house, no matter what size, has at least 2 master bedrooms, and those are the photos you see on the left here. The 4-poster king bed, and then the large bathroom with a separate tub, stand-up shower, and double sink. You can see the enormous living room and the full-size kitchen with the stairs going up to the second floor. On the second floor, you will have a second master king bedroom, a standard king bedroom, which is almost identical and furnished exactly the same way as the flat king bedrooms are. And in addition, we do have queen bedrooms available. And every house has at least 1 bunk room. So you have a second living room, game room area, and you can see on the right-hand side, that lower picture, an image of the bunk room in the back corner. This is to show you that the larger homes are actually on 3 floors. So homes that are 8, 9, and 10 bedroom have 3 stories. This is what a layout is for an 11-bedroom house. And when you're looking at some of the artist's rendition of the inside of an 11-bedroom house on the left, are all items you would find on the ground floor. On the second floor, you see the second living room, and you can see that beautiful yellow slide. That's only available in the 11-bedroom house. Basically, the 3rd floor, which is the 3rd column of images, has that game room on the bottom right. And somewhere on that floor with all the games and video arcade games is the opening to that yellow slide to come down to the 2nd level living room. So imagine you're on vacation, mom yells dinner time, the kids just dive straight into the yellow tunnel, and they're heading downstairs to go get dinner. This is inside the landing. It's just a variety of shots. Again, guest services is here. Guests that arrive 24 hours a day can check in if they have not pre-checked in online. Lots of different dining options. This is just a few photos to let you see we've got activities, everything from paddleboard, yoga classes, to lightsaber building on the beach, movie night on the beach, the 36 holes of golf, kayak rental, paddleboard rentals. All of that is included in the resort fee at the hotel. There is a separate heated pool with 4-person water slide. The deepest part of the lagoon is the blue hole where you have a rope swing. It's 12 feet deep. Lots of places to go for food and drink, like Barbara Ann's Beach Bar. We do have fire pits all the way around the lagoon, and those are actually family favorites for buying in the landing s'mores kits. Last thing I wanted to show you is just quickly the Conrad. They have 433 rooms. This is a standard room or guest room. Basically, 372 of their rooms are exactly like this image. Half of them are with one king bed, like the image you see here, and the other half are two queens. These are the 5 food and beverage outlets that are available to all guests at Evermore, but these ones are all located at the Conrad. The spa is the final item. Now, the spa is both indoor, outdoor. They have a beautiful water garden with hot and cold plunge pools, and it is all part of the spa treatment as well. As I mentioned, the Conrad is managed separately than Evermore. So if you have any questions about the Conrad, I've put a slide up here if you want to do a quick print screen on your computer to get Gary's contact information. Gary can assist you with answering all the detailed questions you may have about the Conrad. And then my contact details are here. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. Greatly appreciate the opportunity of sharing your time along with Brightline. I am looking forward to my first ride on Brightline at the end of this month, and I will be sure to get in touch with Gabriel to let him know what I thought.
Amazing, Phil. We're all dreaming of going. Look at the kayakers going throughout the lagoon. It's so beautiful. I can't keep up with the chat. It is blown up with amazing comments. So thank you. What a fantastic property. It's so great to be in sales and just have such an amazing product to talk about, isn't it?
It is. It's super exciting. There's so much to say that it's hard to go that fast. I'm sure people have lots of questions. So if you have time for a few, I can always do my best to answer one or two before you have to go.
You know what? We actually are agent spoilers and we don't go. So the deal is, agents, if you've got to run because you're going to book, of course, Evermore Orlando Resort or whatnot, we know, or you got to take your training for the Visit Orlando Travel Academy. That's okay. You can go, you're off the hook. You will qualify also for that $50 gift card at this point. If you have the time to stay, we've got dozens of fantastic questions. Phil, if you don't mind staying, then we'll go through those questions together with
I do not
Laura.
mind at all.
Okay, perfect. So we're only going to address spoiled agents, the questions that are not Brightline. If they're Brightline, Gabriel or Gabriel is going to follow up with the team that he has after this because he'll get the report from us and your email will be on there so we can, of course, follow up. So I'll get started. Would you have to take the course annually, Laura, the Travel Academy course? Oh, we can't hear you. I think you're muted.
Sorry, I was leaving my voice for Philip. You do not have to take it annually. However, we are adding some new modules. So we actually have a from value to, luxury travel module. And we also just are adding a student travel module. If those of you who actually book student groups to Orlando, maybe sports groups, youth groups, church groups, we have a module for that. So you can get an additional certification.
Perfect. Okay. Just going through. This is amazing. Can we get the videos for advertising? Thank you, Denise, for throwing that in. So any videos that can be shared, we will make sure. Is there a place that they would find these types of videos, Laura, or should we perhaps request that Phil and Gabriel share those?
Probably they will need to share them, but we can work together to get them on the spoiled agent page.
Perfect. Okay. Hi, Phil. I submitted a request for a group quote for 15 to 20 rooms. I would love to chat with you about that. They said they got an automated response, but nothing else as of yet. So they'd love to get in touch. Maybe that's something you could take offline because we'll provide the agents full details. So Tammy, we're going to serve it to Phil on a platter for you. Email, phone number, everything, if that's okay with you. And then Phil can reach out. Does that sound good? Hopefully. Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Perfect. And then will they be paying commission? I'm assuming this might be this came in during the time of Evermore Orlando Resort. Is there a commission for agents when they book you, Phil?
Yes. So right now, because we're brand new from the ground up, and when I say from the ground up, I mean including all of our computer systems. So we are building everything new. We're up and running. But currently, we are basically paying commission to IATA or IATAN accredited agents only. We are working with CLIA, True, ARC to see about being able to accept those accreditations as well. But currently, you can either call into our call center and book a reservation, and you would be eligible for commission. The commission structure is 15% for bookings valued up to $75,000, and then it's a 20% commission for anything greater than that. So that's either via the GDS, you can book us, or by calling the reservations department. Sadly, our website, they're working to add the ability for an agent to enter their IATA number and then for us to be able to track and pay commission, but that has not been finalized just yet.
We appreciate your honesty. I think that's great. Sorry, Laura.
Brightline offers commissionable rates as well. They actually came out with a recent promotion where they were up to 20% commission for a couple months. So keep an eye on their website if you're registered as a travel agent with Brightline, because they do pop out specials of additional commission opportunities.
Wonderful. This one also for Evermore. Is there ever a problem with gators in the lagoon?
No. And in fact, I get asked that question quite a bit. And one of the things that I learned recently is we actually have not only motion detectors around the outside of Evermore Bay at night, but we also have thermal detectors, and we're connected to those systems to know if there's any movement or any activity going into the water. We have 24-hour central security that is constantly patrolling the edges. Plus, the way the resort was designed, there's a lot of cement, a lot of buildings all around Evermore Bay, and there's always going to be activity and light and noise there. And in general, gators are frightened. Is it possible that an animal of any kind could get into the lagoon? Yes, but if it does, because it's crystal clear blue waters with a white bottom, you'd be able to see a chocolate bar thrown into the lagoon. You'd know there's something in the water, and we would know too because of the motion and thermal detectors.
That's amazing. You've thought of everything. What is the price range?
So at Evermore, on the vacation rental side, depending on the season, we like to ask you to think of a per bedroom price. So low season ranging from about $150 per bedroom, all the way up to high season being approximately $400 per bedroom. So if you were in a 10-bedroom house in high season, you're looking at about $4,000 per night, sleeps 30 people.
Wow. I love how you break it down, I have to say. I think that really helps because you do. If you book just a regular hotel, not like what you have, you're paying per bedroom. So I think that's a real great way of responding. Are there pools with the vacation houses, or is there a local pool for all guests?
So the vacation houses all have their own heated saltwater plunge pool. The 5, 6, 7-bedroom homes have one size plunge pool, and then the larger homes have a slightly larger pool. It's not you're not going to be swimming Olympic laps. It's great for jumping in. You can have 10, 15 people in there, but again, it's not an enormous pool. What you have is an enormous pool deck that has both covered areas, so you can be sitting outside out of the sun, as well as large areas for sunbathing and relaxing if you're getting out of the cold and nasty weather somewhere up north.
Yeah, I checked and mine is 36. So I'm so ready for everything you're saying. And heated pools, oh goodness. Do you happen to have yet an agent portal at Evermore Orlando Resort?
No, that is again being worked on right now. I am collecting databases, and in fact, our new vice president of marketing is aware that they need to get me a software system so that I can track all of you and to make sure that we can communicate with you. But this is a work in progress. It is happening and it will happen. So if you're able to share with us, agent names, contact details, I'm saving those right now, but there is no registration portal on our site.
It makes total sense. Is it mostly walking, or there's golf carts, or how do you get around the property?
We have on property actually what look like sort of San Francisco cable cars. They're trolleys. There's 2 of them, and they go everywhere on property, from the Conrad to the villas to the landing, the boathouse, the flats. down to where the golf pro shop is and to the meeting center. The cycle time is between 8 to 10 minutes. So there's designated pickup locations that are covered with a ceiling fan. They're easily identified with a big gray pole that has a orange top that says shuttle stop. So you can get around the property that way. We do not have golf carts except for staff or people who are actually playing golf.
Okay, I have a couple questions about site inspections. I saw one in the chat real quick. Please help us out and put it in the Q&A because I might lose them, but I'll try my best. And someone in the Q&A asked, I'll be in Orlando next month. Can I schedule a tour?
If you contact me quickly, absolutely, you can schedule a tour. However, I'm at that stage now because we're getting a lot of publicity and we are doing a lot of presentations. I am not yet fully staffed. So you're looking at a one-man show right now. And so I do need to limit the number of site inspections I can do at any given time because it takes about 2 hours. So think about that for yourself as well. Just to see everything that Evermore has to offer. And that does not include the Conrad. The Conrad, you can add almost an extra hour if you're tagging that on as well.
Okay, and can you talk a little bit about the Wi-Fi? Can someone work while on vacation?
Absolutely. So all included is Wi-Fi throughout the resort, included when you're Bayside at Evermore. We have an Evermore app that guests can download. All of the recreational items are listed there. They can find out also the operating hours of the restaurants. And if they're sitting on the beach and they order food, it can be delivered right to where they are with the GPS tracking via the application.
Okay, and the quality of the Wi-Fi. So you could do a Zoom call like this or anything as far
It
as the
should be.
quality?
This is what they've promised us. Now I need to go out and test it, but yes, it's supposed to be that strong throughout the property.
Okay, and what is included in the rate?
So because the vacation rental portion, what you're looking at is like renting a home on Airbnb, you don't have daily housekeeping. That is the key with vacation rental is included in your purchase price is the final checkout cleaning. Now, if you're staying 7 nights is the break point. When you get to 7 nights, then you're going to get a mid-stay cleaning included. So you're actually going to get 2 cleanings in the price, the departure cleaning as well as a mid-stay. Then when you go from 14 to 20 days, you're then going to have 2 mid-stay cleanings, et cetera, et cetera. So that portion is part of what we call our all-in-one fee. The all-in-one fee is like a resort fee. I mentioned we have a ton of activities, everything from paddle boards, kayaks, floats throughout, recreation team that has programming going on day and night. Almost all of those items, including Zumba classes, barre classes, yoga, is all included in the resort fee and the all-in-one fee. So the all-in-one fee is composed of 3 things. You're looking at the housekeeping fee. So if you were renting a house again on Airbnb, you pay a cleaning fee that is separate from the home rental. It includes an insurance policy for all of the units that are 2 up to 4 bedrooms. It gives you coverage for $1,000 of accidental damage as long as it is reported while the guest is on property. So if you disappear and you don't tell us you broke something, that insurance will not cover it. And if you're in a home 5 to 11 bedroom, that insurance policy covers $2,500 of accidental damage that is reported. And then you have a welcome packet. So each unit will come with a nice little Evermore box that has items like you'll have 2 pods for the washer, for the clothes washer. Then you'll have 2 pods for the dishwasher. These are all replenished if you need them, but a typical 7-night stay, most people aren't going to do more than 2 loads of laundry or run the dishwasher more than twice because they're on vacation. They're not there to cook. They may be dining in the restaurant, the food hall, etc. There's 3 rolls of toilet paper per room. There's a lot of things that are included, and you can find all of that on the frequently asked questions section of our website. Just scroll to the bottom and you'll see the FAQs, and you'll have a full list of all the items included.
Perfect. And then the next one says, here we go. Do the 5 bedrooms have a master on the first floor?
Yes, the 5 bedroom has one master on the first floor, on the ground floor. And in fact, it's the only bedroom on the ground floor. And then immediately above it is a second master. And then on that second floor, there's also one king, one queen, and one bunk room.
Perfect. And here is the Evermore site with the FAQs link in the chat box for anyone that would like to see that. Are these homes available now? Is there any marketing that we may use?
Right. So we are currently in our soft opening. Our soft opening began on December 20th. So we do have guests on property. We are limiting ourselves to no more than 30% occupancy, but we don't have all of our accommodation types open just yet. We are selling the 2 and 4 bedroom villas, and we are selling the 4 bedroom flats that are located in the 5-story buildings. In the next 2 to 4 weeks, all of the flats will be available, including the ones that are in the 2-story buildings. And then beginning in May, we will have the first of the houses coming online, and they'll be gradually staggering in. So hopefully by the end of July, all 69 vacation homes will be available for rent.
Okay, perfect. And then what about the marketing portion? If there's something they would like to promote it, do you have assets that the agents might use?
So we've got a huge library of photos that were just taken literally about a week ago. Our marketing team is still having to plow through those. We do have some short ad videos, like the 30-second one that you saw at the beginning, that we would be able to supply. We have artist rendition, but in the next couple of weeks, I'm expecting to get a lot of real photography. Because we've been doing the photo shoots, but it's been the last 2 weeks, and we just haven't had a chance to go through the thousands of photographs that the photographer gave us. It's a lot of work.
Yes.
Bill, do you have any collateral, any brochures or collateral for them? Or
So right now I do have fact sheets that are available in PDF. So if I had like a list of all of the agents' email addresses, I could send that out to them if they want it. That's not a problem. But we're just starting to print. In fact, we haven't done our booths. We were waiting to have as much of our inventory actually finished and completed and operational so we could do photography. Otherwise, all of the brochures would have just been artists' renditions.
Mhm. Makes total sense, and definitely. So there can be in the follow-up email, we can include these types of things.
Exactly.
Someone else is asking if they may have a copy of your presentation, Phil.
It shouldn't be a problem. You guys, I believe, have recorded it nonetheless. So if
I
you're
guess they
able to
probably
share
just
it-
want the actual slides. So they could
I
probably
don't
sit
know
with
if
a
I can
client.
share the slides themselves, because again, I put this together using some of the photographs that are in our
Okay.
library that haven't been fully approved yet by our marketing team.
Okay,
But
we
you
won't
can,
tell. Perfect.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're not sharing it. Wait for the real deal. I
of
know
course, as
that
we
you don't want to
continue to
get.
get, this will go viral now. You realize that, Sabrina.
Yeah, we don't want to get in trouble with marketing or
Yeah, so-
accounting. We want to be
Yeah,
good to
so
both of
when
those.
the new director of leisure sales is here to do the next presentation, he won't make the same mistake I made, right?
No, no, no. I know it's a tough spot because you want to talk about your product, but you've got renderings. I hear you. I've been there. Okay. How would they actually ask for a site inspection? I know you say your schedule is limited, but what would they do? Would that be an email to you, or what do you
Yes, that's
suggest?
the easiest way is to send me an email with your contact details, the dates that you're going to be here. If you have any flexibility, that makes it a little easier for me. And if you email me and say, hey, I'm available at 10 a.m. on this day, that's the only day I have, I may already have something booked, so I won't be able to assist you. But I do my best to try to accommodate as many requests as I get.
Of course. And I know it's on the hour mark. So again, agents, if you have to go, not to worry. If it's okay with you, Laura and Phil, we can still go through the questions that are remaining. If that works for you time-wise.
That's okay with me.
Laura, you're okay? Sounds good. Okay. If we could, someone asked for the contact information. I'll just put that into the chat, or maybe Laura can put that in the chat. Either one of us will do that in a minute so we can move forward. Of course, we can share the contact information for Phil. Next question. What tour operators can we use to book Evermore?
So we are in the process of doing all of the contracting now. There's only a few limited operators that have rates with us at this stage of the game, but I am in communication with tour operators in the US, Canada, in the UK. We're in the contracting phase, so I'm hoping that in the next month to two, we will start having availability through those different tour operators.
Okay, and next question, do you have travel agent rates and how do they book those?
So we do have travel agent rates. And again, I can basically email this. Whoop, what am I doing here? There we go. So that doesn't work because
Fine.
of our, okay, well, anyhow, we do have travel agent rates for a first time visit up to 2 units. You can get 50% off. But right now, because we're only able to accept IATA, IATAN, I don't know if all spoiled agent members are accredited with that particular organization. If they are, they just need to call our reservations department, provide their IATA number. When they do show up to check in as well, they would have to provide their ID with that IATA number. But basically, your first visit to the property, up to 2 units, if you book them at the same time, would be at 50% off. And then for all subsequent visits, the travel agent discount would be 25% off, whatever the going rate is.
Okay, and someone asked for the phone number, so I'm taking it from your website, if that's okay.
Sure, absolutely.
There we go. So there you go. It's in the chat box. I believe someone, Denise, you had also asked for that. How late are the eateries open at Evermore?
So right now we're on modified operating hours. So I know that all of the restaurants are currently closing, at least at Evermore, at 10 p.m. As I mentioned, we don't want to have a full house at this stage of the game. We're limiting ourselves to under 30% occupancy to get everything up and running. There are always little glitches with technology, is the cash register system functioning correctly? So we've got a lot of the tech people that are helping us on property at this time. So there are a few limited services. The slide pool, for example, is supposed to come online next week. So currently that is not open, nor is the rope swing for the Blue Hole. That's also scheduled for next week.
Okay, no problem. And I'm going to get Phil's email for all of you in the chat right now. Next question, is there an opportunity for groups or corporate events?
Absolutely. In fact, we have an entire group sales team that focuses on incentive groups, team building groups. The homes, because they sleep up to 32 people, for example, and you have 11 separate bedrooms. Each bedroom has its own ensuite bathroom. It's an ideal setup if you're doing a team building, for example, or a strategy session where you want everybody to really bond and spend time together. You have a giant living room on the ground floor. You have a second living room with an entertainment center on the middle floor. And then on the top floor, you have the game room, but also has a large screen TV. So I actually have a couple of smaller travel agencies that are coming back to do their annual training conference. And they are booking an 11-bedroom house for 25 of their agents to share and then be able to do meals together, meetings together, presentations together.
What a great idea. Is there a self-booking link we can send to clients?
I don't understand the question when you say a self-booking link.
I guess it's like an affiliate link. So if I was an agent, I think the answer is logically not yet, because you said you're just starting. But what it would
Correct.
be is if I'm registered with you at Sabrina's Travel and Laura wants to go, I email her this link, she books and I get the commission and it's tracked. But you already stated that you're in the beginning stages. You're not there yet. So
we're working to
yeah,
get there, but we're not there just yet. At this
not
stage of the
quite
game,
yet.
even if the agent was going to our website, they wouldn't be able to book something for their client because we don't have the space to be able to register. You can inquire, but if you want to make a reservation for a customer, you call that number that you already put into the chat, and you'd be able to make a reservation with one of our agents, and they would load that in manually into the system, and we're able to do that. It's just not interfaced with the website just yet.
No, it makes total sense. Is there transportation to Disney? Next question.
So for the vacation rental portion of Evermore, no. And again, when you rent a house at most, on Airbnb or VRBO or any of these places, usually you're a pretty independent traveler. You're getting there, but those homes won't have any kind of transportation. Part two to the equation is a home that can sleep 32 people. And I mentioned it, I think, in my presentation. If that multi-generational family decides one morning, hey, let's all go to Disney today, and they show up to use the shuttle, pretty much they take the whole shuttle and nobody else can go to the park at that time. So it's just not feasible. We share a 3-mile border with Disney. So even taking an Uber from the resort to get to whichever park you're going to is quite easy and inexpensive. Probably end up costing, I would guess, somewhere similar to parking and the nuisance of having to drive back and forth.
Well, that makes total sense. Okay, perfect. Are you all promoting timeshares?
We are no timeshare, no individual owners. This is the one point that I probably didn't mention in my presentation, and I should have, is we are 100% centrally owned and operated like a hotel. So our homes and our flats were custom built and designed to be vacation rental. You wouldn't want to buy one of those homes to live in. And what I mean by that is there's nowhere to put your stuff. So there's no walk-in closets for
Yeah.
300 pairs of shoes and 20 outfits. And it's a normal size hotel style closet because you're not moving in, you're coming with a couple of suitcases. That space instead is put into all of the living, dining room areas, the outdoor seating areas if you're in a home, the pool. So we want to give guests the opportunity to spend as much time together as possible. One of our key words here at Evermore is togetherness. Where all the memories from your vacation made is when everybody's sitting around the dining room table. So if you're in a 5-bedroom house and it can sleep 15 people, all 15 people can be seated for a meal at the same time. And that's the same mentality in an 11-bedroom house. 32 people can sleep there. Guess what? In the dining room that has 2 dining room tables, plus the breakfast bar that's right next to it, you can get all 32 people dining at the same time.
Makes sense. And speaking about dining, I'm not sure that I asked this, but it was a question here about how late are the eateries planning on being open?
So some of them will go, like some of the bars, like Ebb and Flow, which is inside the landing, Twin View, are supposed to go as late as 1 a.m. is what I have heard so far, but nothing is hard and fast. We are in trial and error mode. All of our rules and regulations are a little bit fluid right now. And what I mean by that is we tried to pre-plan everything before opening, but sometimes the best laid plans don't always work out. And so we're adjusting. If we see that there's nobody around at midnight on a regular basis, then chances are midnight would be when they would adjust the closing time for the restaurants later on. But we haven't had enough experience to know and understand how our guests will behave, because again, it is kind of a one-of-a-kind product. Nowhere else is there a centrally owned and operated resort with all the amenities of a resort, but that it's not individual ownership.
No, and that's neat. And plus, since Orlando's like the foodie capital of America, I think Laura said, people might be going out to eat. So you don't know yet, but I love that you're going to be adapting to that. That's such a great sign. Will you be offering resort day passes? Just a couple questions left here. We're almost done. You've been such a great
No.
trooper.
There will
Okay.
be no day passes. The resort amenities are really for the resort guests and the guests of the Conrad. That's it.
No problem. And on Facebook, because we're streaming live to our private Facebook group. Hi, everyone. We have a
Hello.
question. We have a couple questions we've got, but one more. Does Evermore have properties anywhere else in Florida?
No, we do not currently have any properties in Florida. Dart Interests, which is the ownership group, does have a few properties. Some are residential in New York. There is a small, very boutique hotel in the Catskills of New York as well. So they do have some. And then Dart Interest also owns a lot of hotels in the Cayman Islands.
Oh, wow. Good to know. Do you have with you or on hand the conference room capacities, like how many people can fit in, or is that something they can look up as well?
They should be able to find all that information on the website. If they go on the website, there should be a tab. I believe the tab says events or groups. Let me just tell you
Yep,
here.
events,
So
meetings
when
and
you go on
events.
events, you should be able to find that there.
Okay, yeah, that's beautiful. You can see requesting for, oh yeah, there, I'll throw the link. I love it. Now I want to have a meeting there too. My goodness. Okay. So next time we meet, let's do it there. How about that? Okay, I'm going to
They're
throw that
very-
in the chat for
You
everyone.
probably want to do it beachside, or maybe in Hammock
That's
Grove,
the
where everyone
only
can
way.
everybody else can be laying in a hammock there.
I think that's the way. Let's do it. Okay. Well, thank you, Phil. That was quite a lot of
My
questions that
pleasure.
came your
Thank you,
way.
everyone, for joining us and spending so much time with us today.
Yes, it's fabulous. I would just say that what a fantastic presentation, amazing product, so many great things happening with Visit Orlando. Brightline was fabulous too. And I have nothing else to say except I want to go to Orlando right now. Do you have any final words, Laura?
No, thank you guys for joining us and taking the time. We appreciate you hanging on a little later than expected, but I know it's a lot of information. So we will catch you next time and bring some more awesome guests in and keep selling Orlando.
Thank you all. Have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye for
Thanks,
now.
guys.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate your
Bye.
time. Bye-bye.